Hello, hello, everybody. Welcome back to Reality Realness with 3S. I'm your host, Chantele Francis, here in the morning to talk about the challenge, season 41, episode 3. And with me to do it is Matthew. How's it going, Matthew? Why is Michaela in your background? I know why, but tell us.
It's going well. I still really loving this season. I thought this was probably the weakest of the 4 episodes, but even with that said, still had a lot of fun with it. And yeah, I mean, I just love Michaela. She can be like the quiet strategic force, but then she also is not afraid to stand up and speak her mind, which we literally saw this episode. So I love what she's doing always, and I'm just so happy that Michaela is back on the challenge.
Me too. And Fanta coming in bright and early. It's 8:30 where she is, and she is here with us. How are you doing, Fanta?
I'm here. I'm moderately caffeinated. I also agree with Matt. I was a little lukewarm on this episode. I still enjoyed it, but it was very interesting. It was like baking. There was some people I think who rose to the top this episode. Who I was like, oh my gosh, I think you're a favorite of mine now. And then some people who did not so much were a little bit disappointing.
Okay, I can't wait to hear who and whom you are talking about. I mean, I can understand with like the both of you that it wasn't the best out of the 4 episodes that we've watched so far, but I just like I felt engaged. I wasn't sure what was going to happen at all different turns necessarily. I just feel like there's an energy in this season that we haven't really had in a while, and so even like the dud, it was still like an 8.5. 8.5 is not a bad dud when we've had some seasons where a lot of episodes were like a 3 and you're just like, oh my god, this is long. So yeah. Still first I guess fifth of the season is still going pretty strong, pretty well.
I have to say my worry, not for this season but moving forward, is I think that production is walking a really tight rope with like the rookies that are on this season are incredible. It's like 10 out of 10 rookies. The vets to me are the thorn of this season. Like they are a little bit underwhelming. Like there is a handful of them that are really providing, but the rest of them are like same old, same old. It's like we're seeing these older vets that are just not really bringing that much. And my worry is if they follow a similar casting formula and then the rookies are not as great in future seasons, it's like, okay, what are we doing here? So I definitely do worry about that because the last, like, I'd say 5 seasons, the rookies have not been this strong. And then it's the same vets over and over again. And I mean, like, there, like I said, there are a handful of vets that are really providing, but then you get like the Aneesa, Nani, Leroy, Derrick K. They are just not really doing that much. Like they're there for the competition, but I worry in the future, and I just hope that they lean into this new batch of rookies. But the show has not really done that the last few years with rookies.
Yeah. I agree with that, and I thought of that, and I'm hopeful that the reason why the vets aren't like as strong this season is because it was like right off the heels of 40, and I think that like a bunch of people on 40 were just like, either I'm not doing this again, or it's just too soon to do this back to back. Because if you had like Jordan and Jenny in this season, it would be a very different thing where you wouldn't have a situation where like Derrick K is like gasping for air basically in his talking head and like wishing that they are the new threats are drinking more. So I like to think I'd like to give production a bit of credit and hope it's just that like Jordan wants to chill, Jenny wants to chill, Michelle definitely does, Tori said she wanted to take time off, like that sort of thing.
Val, do we think though that like Tori and Jordan has been kind of a fun police in the last few seasons? Like anytime like something exciting might pop up, it's like just settle it down, Sand. You're just like, or yell at each other. Like, come on, like, what are we doing here? Maybe a TV show.
But I do think that with that type of energy that Jordan would bring, the threats would like kind of match it.
Yeah.
Whether it's misguided or not, I think that there would still be like people would try to pop off at Jordan, you know, like in years ago when people would pop off at CT because he was like top dog at the time.
Yeah, and we're seeing even this season, like the Bananas is like under fire right off the bat, and I do feel like Jordan might be as well, and I do think the best version of Jordan is when he has his back against the wall, and the last couple seasons we haven't really seen that, but I do think Jordan can still be fun. He just needs to like be pressured. And on season 40, that was the worst version of Jordan because he just walked to the end and every woman was protecting him the whole game. So it wasn't fun to see. We knew basically Jordan was going to win the show after week 6 when they switched the format up. So that was definitely not a fun version of Jordan. But with these strong type of rookie classes, well, I mean, Bananas is scrambling for his life here. And I think if Jordan was in a same position, that would actually be quite fun to see.
Yeah, I can definitely agree with that. We have seen fun Jordan when everybody's against him, or like he shows no fear. He'll take everybody out, take everybody down. So yeah, I can definitely agree. And it seems like the new threats are not shimmered at all by these vets. They don't care to play with them. They don't want to run finals with them. They want them gone. They want to take over the show. And so if that's the energy, I think that Jordan might be like, "Well, you're not giving me respect," like, and he might get a little bit combative. So
yeah, my like Fanta, to your point, like my whole worry is that these people that are taking a break coming off 40, I'm just hoping that when they do come back for 42 or 43, they're not taking the place of all these new threats. And then it's like we're still getting Nani, Leroy, Derrick, Aneesa, Aviv, and then we're just adding on the Tori, Jordan, Devin. I kind of hope it's the opposite, and we're going to see those people that are taking a break now mixed in with some of these new threats. So there are different dynamics. But yeah, my worry is all these people that are taking a break now are just going to replace the new threats, which I think would really suck because this is one of the best rookie classes I think we've ever got.
Oh, 100%.
Agreed. We do have some friends joining us here. Hi, guys. Happy to see you talk about this. So far, amazing season. I have to agree, Konoichi. Jessica is giving us some waves. Hi, Diva. Good morning, everyone. So it's nice everybody's still joining us, even though we're at a different time today. People are still able to roll out of bed, or if it's later, just, join us. Roman Curtis says, I enjoy King Bananas and easing along CT. I mean, listen, like, Matthew's going to hate that I say this, but Bananas is giving opposition, right? If Bananas wasn't there, would this season be as interesting with like having nobody for Olivia to be going against, to have nobody that's like everybody's enemy? I mean, maybe they would have come up with a different enemy, but I would have to say that his presence being there alone and just like his attitude around like Olivia and all that, it does create the tension that we're always looking for. We want a split house. We want two sides, and he is, in a sense, providing the opposition. So what do you think, Matthew?
No, I agree. I think Bananas always provides drama. Like, he's always the center of drama. The thing about Bananas is just, for me, like the shtick just gets old when it's such a long season. And it's like, I don't want to see 25 weeks of Bananas having the same storyline. Like, what I want to see is Bananas continue to be entertaining, and then he gets clipped halfway through, and then all his people have to fight on without him. But I think so far, like, Bananas has definitely been entertaining, and I typically do find Bananas entertaining for the first 6 to 10 weeks. And then it's like, okay, it's like literally the exact same thing as we were watching 2 months earlier. So Yeah, I mean, my hope for Bananas is like
halfway through get clipped.
Yeah, a month from now he gets out of the game, and then his people just have to pick up the pieces and fight without it being in his shadow. That I think is an entertaining season.
Yeah, I would agree with that. And I mean, it's, there we have that whole moment this episode where he's screaming again, "I am the challenge." Again, we heard this in War of the Worlds 2. He only has like the same couple of tricks, but I don't love Bananas. But yeah, I do agree that he's one of, if not the only person that's not afraid of speaking his mind. And that's something, like, if I was a producer on this show, I would like sit everybody down in their like one-on-ones or whatever, and I would be like, remember, this is a TV show. Remember, this has to be entertaining. Don't be afraid. Like,
have an opinion.
Speak your mind. That's what the fans want. That's what makes compelling TV.
Jessica thinks that Bananas whines too much.
Well, yeah, that's definitely.
That's not. Of course.
Do you guys think that production knew that Naya was going to be DQ'd, and they did this twist to keep Bananas an extra week? Because now it's like, okay, Bananas, now you're not at risk of being the hangnail. We're going to make Gabe the hangnail, put him at risk next week. And it's like, they also could have just made it a male elimination and then had the loser partner up with America if Naya was being DQ'd. But they just gave us 2 more weeks of Bananas, essentially.
100%. I was watching with my girlfriend last night, and she was like, "You get results for MRIs right away."
Yeah, it felt like very blatant. It's like just making sure, knowing that Bananas was in some danger. It's like, all right, let's just give Bananas 2 more weeks at least to figure things out. So I was definitely getting those vibes. And I mean, we know a replacement is coming in soon anyway, so they obviously had an alternate ready to go. So it definitely felt that way.
Was there only one alternate? Do you remember who else was an alternate? We're not going to discuss. I want to. Maybe we should discuss it at all.
Well, the thing is, we know that there was at least one alternate, and to this point, like, they didn't know that someone else was going to be leaving the game, so they could have easily put that alternate into the game right now, and they chose not to. So I definitely feel that a lot of this was to protect Bananas for a few weeks.
100%.
That's wild. Yeah, and I definitely agree with your girlfriend that those kind of results are pretty immediate.
And it's funny because I feel like Naya already knew as well. Like, I feel like they probably already shared that with her because she just like wasn't that surprised.
Well, probably when she got the checkup, the physical or whatever she had to do, they probably said, it doesn't look good, but let's get an MRI to see the results, like, officially. And it was probably some sort of torn out.
Because why an MRI? Like, that's pretty, like, that's quite the jump. Like, from, okay, we're just checking it out.
My knee.
My knee doesn't feel great. Like, your first instinct wouldn't be like, let's get an MRI. So,
well, it was CT, though, that kind of pushed it that way.
Yeah, that's true. But yeah, the whole time I had my hands on my hips because I was like, I know where this is going. We're not going to get an elimination.
Jessica said they need to phase most vets out at this point and just put them on all-stars. The younger vets are fine. Do you think that, like, okay, yes, we know Olivia is doing really, really well this season. But do you think that all the newer vets will be able to carry a full season? I think that they tried that a little bit in 38, and I don't find that it worked that well. But you're shaking your head. No.
And it's hard. I get where she's coming. I get where Jessica's coming from on this, and it's not that I disagree, but it's like, I do. Yeah, for 39, like, we all saw what happened when they tried that, and yes, they were missing some people, but I just don't. I don't think that the younger vets are ready to carry a flagship on their own. Like, I think that that's pretty much taking the dog out behind the shed at this point.
Oh, Jesus.
I kind of agree with Jessica. I think that, like, to me, and I don't think it needs to be like 100% one way or the other. But like, to me, if you keep the people that are a little bit older and like faces of the show that are still providing, like, I don't think Bananas needs to move to All Stars. Like, clearly he is capable physically and he's still providing entertainment. Like, someone like Jordan is still obviously very capable of being on the show, but I think younger, like era 4 and now these era 5 people can carry a show. I mean, I actually love season 39 way more than most people do. I know that's like, I'm in the minority there, but 39 is like a season it's one of my favorite seasons of the last 5 seasons. So,
but you did a rewatch, right? You said it's better in a rewatch and not in a, like, or no, you're thinking that it just would be.
The worst part of 39 is when they brought in the vets. Like, that to me was the worst part of the season. But I think people like Nerys can carry a season. I think, like, there are like younger people that are still vets, like Ashley, Amanda, Corey. They're still capable of carrying seasons, in my opinion.
So basically, who are you saying then? Matthew, are you saying like Derrick K needs to not be on Flagship anymore?
I mean, what more is there to see from Derrick K, Darrell, Brad, the people like that, Nani, Aneesa? To me, like, as I like some of these people, but I don't feel like we're getting much more from them. And I would rather see people like Turbo, Corey, Ashley, Amanda, Nerys be more of a focal point. Even like, I know people don't really like Josh Martinez, but to me, like, at least Josh is providing something when he's on the show. And a lot of it is him kind of being like a bit of a laughing stock. And he is like, he's not well liked by the fans, but the fans are still talking about him. And I feel like some of these people, like, what fans are talking about Aviv? It's like, she is kind of just there. And like, Leroy, I love Leroy, but can he stay home with the kids and we get Cam on the show instead? Like, to me, like, Cam can carry a season and Leroy is just like a perennial sidekick.
Ooh. Okay, Kanoichi says Yeremi called out the vets on the Challenge Mania podcast, saying that he thought that it was called the challenge, but he did not feel challenged. Ouch. But it's not only about the challenge, but what do you guys think about Yeremi here? And did you listen to any of this, Matthew?
I did listen to it. Yeah, I think like Yeremi is kind of like he really is like a Horacio. Like, I anticipated he would be that, and then when he was on the podcast, he very much made it seem like, yeah, I like came here to push myself, and like nobody was like even trying and going up the mountain. And I think like that's like kind of part of it too, where like the vets like realize like, hey, like, let's work smarter, not harder. And it doesn't really matter if we finish 1st or 12th up the mountain. But I do think like some of these like younger kids that like feel like they have a lot to prove will go a little bit harder in the challenges. And then I think they also go a little bit harder at the bars and in the clubs. So that's what I like to see as well.
I mean, that is more fun, for sure. For sure. Messy hookups and all that jazz. How many people have built their challenge career from trying to go at Bananas? It's true. Quite a few people have used him as an opportunity to have a clear storyline, and it's worked. So, the Hall Brawlers here has a point. Hall Brawlers has a point. Okay, well, let's talk about this episode. How do we feel about it not really fully being in format? Maybe this week might have reset the format, but starting right off at the selection, like at the arena, do we like this? How do we feel about this?
Well, I agree with Matthew about like what he said last episode, is that the selection should just happen at the end of episode, which we did end up getting, but then we didn't get an elimination. So, but yeah, it's anticlimactic to have it at the start.
Yeah, and I'm like, what happened again? Like, who won what? It's been a week. Like, I don't remember the order. I don't care. Like, I'm not like, ooh, who are they gonna pick? I'm just like, okay, Leka's going first. So I'll just go through who took who. Leka chose Leroy. Turbo chose Izzy. Olivia, Justin, Will chose Nani. We do see a little bit later Will getting some hearts around his head for Nani. And I do believe in one of the super cuts that Nani is having a makeout on the show. Is she trying to keep her place in the show because Matthew's going to have her axed if she's boring?
Well, that was the thing. I was going to say, like, of Matt's list, I agree with everybody except for Nani. I'm sorry. I think Nani should stay on flagship.
Hey, like,
especially
when they're going to provide, I'm willing. Like, if they're going to provide, I'm willing to reconsider like who's on my like not list. And again, like, it's not like I dislike these people. Like, I think Nani and Leroy and a lot of these people have brought a lot to the show, but like, it's been a while since they brought what they used to bring. And if Nani is going to be like, maybe not like the extent of what she was 15 years ago, but if she can be like 50% of that, like, I'm all for her being here. But if it's just like more or less like the same, like every year she comes in and is like, this is my season, I'm gonna like play for me, and then like she just goes out in like sixth place, then that's like what I just don't care about. But yeah, if she's gonna be hooking up and stirring up some trouble, I'm all here for it.
Josh is reminding us that we see Nani going off at Aneesa. We do also see Aneesa and Ashley fighting in the trailer. So there's going to be some fights from the boring people. And so I'm excited to see what they bring. Yes, I want to throw a cup of noodle Nani back. I mean, we're hoping, obviously, that now that she's not in a relationship with Casey, that she might be a little bit messier. And it looks like she still's got messy in her heart.
Oh yeah,
it still lives within her.
Her talking head this episode, I was like, that's coming out soon.
America chooses bananas. CT chooses Dee, Aneesa, Yeremi, Ashley, Jake, Cedric, Michaela, Leo, Aviv, Naya, Gabe. Kind of forced here. She was choosing between Ben and Gabe, I guess. Ben chose Cara Maria. How do we feel about Cara Maria falling so far down out of all the vets of being selected here? What do we think about that?
I wonder, is it a situation that a lot of those new threats just haven't watched the challenge? I feel like the only new threats that have been vocal about watching the challenge have been Ben and America. So is it just a case that they just don't know? Because that's odd.
Do you know what? I guess in terms of like, because they were doing it with the reverse order, or the order of who finished where. The people that chose before is Will. So Will obviously has a thing for Nani, so he was trying to sweep up. And then the only rookie guy that had the next choice was Cedric, who chose Michaela. So I mean, I guess that kind of tracks. Leo chose Aviv. So no, she was chosen fourth.
Well, I wonder if it's also because Cara is not super well connected. Like, she's kind of like on an island here. She doesn't have any like super tight allies, I feel.
We do see this episode that she's working with the UK for the most part.
Yeah, but I feel like she is kind of like on the outskirts of the UK alliance. Like, she is with them because she's kind of anti-bananas, but I feel like she doesn't, like, nobody is going to throw their game on the line for Cara, I feel.
Dabu says, legacy aside, is Cara performing this season? Yay or nay?
Seems like she's kind of middle of the pack consistently.
Yeah.
She's not bringing much.
But one thing I was happy to find out here is they did mention that you're not allowed to choose a partner you've already had.
They said that last episode.
Did they?
Yeah.
So that I actually like to hear, because it makes us like understand the format a little bit better. So that also could play a part as to why Cara was picked later. If someone couldn't choose her, unless like they're the last choices, I guess, then it could happen. But I like to hear that. The one thing I still want to get some clarity on is next week, if a male vet goes home, what will they do? Will they put two rookies together as a pair? Because right now it seems like that can't happen. But if a vet does go home, then what happens from there? Will there be 2 hangnails? Will there be a rookie pair? That's going to be interesting to see when the time comes.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm lying. I didn't hear that on the last episode. Ben did listen to at least some of our pod last week and commented and said that he would come on after the season is done. So that's kind of fun. And then I decided to listen to his pod. He's quite entertaining and engaging. So I enjoyed listening to what he had to say with his co-host. And he mentioned that you could not choose the same partner. So sorry for misremembering how that went down, but I don't know how I feel about that format, just because the first episode was all about how well you did, and then you were able to choose. And it's kind of like that when you're choosing the next time. But if you can't choose someone that you already had, then sometimes you don't really get a choice, because you're like, well, that's the only person that I haven't had, so I have to choose them. And you can't kind of determine when you get a new partner. So I kind of feel like you should be able to choose who you want, but I don't know if it's going to play out better entertainment wise. So do you guys have any thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, like, it can't be a situation where somebody gets to pick the same person kind of over and over again. I think
even if they win every challenge, they can't choose their partner.
Well, imagine you have Olivia winning every time, and then you get like Olivia and Justin almost every week.
I guess that could,
right? Like that would just be like, meh. I don't know if there's like a perfect way of doing it other than the way that they're doing it now. But yeah, I'd prefer that than seeing the same partners over and over again.
Yeah, I'm starting to think, I know we talked about it after the first episode. I'm starting to believe that the points that they're getting each week, that it is going to be like halfway through, they choose a permanent partner from there, and that's going to be the order. Based off of a conversation that Michaela was having with the rookie men, they were talking about that in this episode, and they said, well, I think it was Leo maybe actually said to Michaela, eventually they're going to switch from a male hangnail to female hangnail to then like pairs completely. And Michaela said, well, I would rather go into elimination on my own. But the fact that that conversation happened and we don't know what these points mean, I think when it gets to the point where there's only 8 men and 8 women left, so half the cast is left, that's when it's going to stop, because everyone will get points from there, and then it's going to go based off of points to choose your partner. So that's what I'm imagining will happen, and it kind of adds up episode wise too, and then they'll do like 4 episodes where there's paired eliminations.
I mean, to be fair, I do like that idea of how to use the points, as opposed to like the horror stories that we've already experienced these last few seasons. So if this is the way that they're using the points, like, okay, I'm happy. But if you got 20 points, you get to get your first pick on who you want to run the rest of the season with and potentially win the game with. And so I'm happy about that. So they did, seemingly, if that's how that goes down, they did something right, I would say.
Yeah.
Lastly, so yeah, Ben chose Cara Maria, Sydney chooses Derrick, Theo chooses Adrienne, and Tay and Derrick are last pick. I'm kind of like really bummed that Derrick is on this season. We talked about it last week, but like I was never really a big fan, and then Matthew had him in like favorite like people on this season, and I was so confused. And he is, in my opinion, not providing whatsoever, and he got Blue eliminated. So, in my opinion, he sucked, and he did not help Blue, like, at least not be last. And yeah, and I'm not here for his knees storyline. I'm good. I've been good on Derrick for a while. The last time I found him like a teeny bit entertaining was when he was wearing that matching jumpsuit that everyone was getting on him for in All Stars. But since then, I've not really been a fan. I'm not there.
Yeah, I mean, like Matthew said, I don't think that Derrick should be on Flagship. I'm surprised, to be completely honest. that he was
Beat out Fessy. Like, I don't love Fessy, but like Fessy would be somebody that would be more in line to being on this season, I would think.
Yeah, I agree. And like the thing that gave me, like, I clutched my pearls when he had a moment where he like did a jump and then you just see the hardware on his knee, and I was like, oh no. Like,
Yeah.
I'm surprised they let him back with like that. I don't know. He needs to just be on All Stars.
He's also just not that good at, like, he's good as like when he's like a scrappy underdog, but I mean, we saw it like episode 1 with Rogan, where it's like, yeah, you're good at one thing, but like Derrick's been doing the show for 20 years and he can't do puzzles. Like, he can't do anything like memorization. We saw this episode, he like didn't do that great with like the swimming stuff, and it's like, all right, well, you're not going to get a pole wrestle every single week, and if we're just like having you on the cast hoping that you get a pole wrestle at one point, like, what's the point? It's like Shane was an alternate. Shane was right there.
Oh, what?
I would have loved to see Shane.
Shane should have been
great on the season with Ashley. Like,
yeah, Shane should have been, because he would have. Oh, the drama we would have gotten with Shane. Are you kidding me? That is crazy.
Yeah, it's like, for me, like what they need to do is just lean into the people, like whether it's a new school or old school person, lean into the people that are providing entertainment now. Like, we just saw All Stars 5 with Shane and Frank were just dominating that season, entertainment wise, and neither of them are on this season. It makes no sense. Like, they were willing to do a season months prior, or within the year. Someone like Veronica, Katie, like they were willing to do it, and their old school representation that, well, maybe not the best physically, like they're still going to provide something. So it's like, take advantage of these people that are willing to do it, that are entertaining.
Yeah, I think the person that casts for entertainment does not work for the show anymore, or maybe they only work for the new threats. So we learned that we kind of already knew this, but Tay hangs out with Izzy, Adrienne, Olivia, Derrick, Theo, and they have their closet hangs. It's basically a lot of them being the UK alliance, even though Tay is from Australia. Derrick and Olivia are kind of the outliers from the US in this group. Do you think we'll see all of them in a final?
No.
Who do you think will make it there?
Definitely not Adrienne.
Her time's coming.
Her time is coming up.
Yeah, the tough part is Adrienne and Izzy are the two most vocal against bananas, so they could get in some trouble there.
Yeah, I think I could see Izzy. Like, Izzy's tough stuff. I could see Izzy making it like pretty far, but Adrienne absolutely not. The fact that she was like, I haven't gone swimming since I was a child.
I was shocked. Like, I don't swim, but like I did take swimming lessons when I was growing up, and I've been swimming since I was a child. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. Like, I was just like, I don't. Yeah, but Adrienne's time is coming up soon, and yeah, I think I'm done with Tay. She seems like a nice person, but I truly fall asleep in her talking heads.
Yeah, she's quite boring. I think like Tay will be definitely one of the people that are one and done too. Yeah. I don't think she'll ever do another season. Who else was there that could make? Yeah, I don't really see any of those three making a final, to be honest.
Yeah, I think Olivia is definitely going to be making the final. Like, she's been performing so well this season so far, and she does have a group of people that are protecting her. And if she's going to keep on winning, like, she's safe. So I think Olivia is going to at least make it very, very, very far.
The only problem with Olivia, though, is like she's already being called out as like the ringleader of the other side. So I imagine like at some point they're going to take a shot at her
if she loses. But she might not
if
lose.
She loses, well, I mean, she's not going to win every single daily. There's no chance. But she can win an elimination. But I mean, we saw, is Olivia good at puzzles? Maybe she's gotten better, but
I don't think so.
Is Olivia dyslexic, or am I crazy? I'm trying to remember her puzzle against Michelle.
I don't remember that. I feel like that was
that's Amber. That's Amber B.
Or Amber B.
Okay. I think Olivia's fine at puzzles, but I do think that this episode in its entirety painted like a really big target. And there were moments in Olivia's face where I could tell she was kind of like, oh shit. Like she just didn't quite anticipate that her target was growing, but now it's like everybody knows.
I mean, we'll get into that a little bit more, but I feel like it's pretty obvious that her target's going to get big if she's calling out the face of I am the challenge. Like, obviously, if you're going to be going up against him, it's pretty obvious that.
You know who I actually think is very well set up this season, shockingly? Turbo. I think Turbo's doing a really good job. Like, he is not losing his shit on anyone yet. He is, fun-loving, seemingly, and he is like bonding with Bananas, but also still tight with the UK people. I'm like shocked to see Turbo like integrating himself well, and I think he is someone that could make a run at a final here.
Yeah, I could see that. He can compete against all these young bucks, and people, and he's not causing waves that people don't want him to be there so far. So.
Yeah,
I could definitely see that. He could be a sleeper, which is crazy to say that Turbo's a sleeper. But
I also didn't know Turbo was like this puzzle master, but they seem to be highlighting that he's really good at puzzles. So
remember, he has been quite good so far when they've been when he was with Nani, like he was the one that was solving these things, and Nani wasn't necessarily letting him all the time. And he's like, no, just let me do it. And when she did, they would win. So
yeah.
I agree, Taboo. I was thinking the exact same thing. I'm like, why Tay? Like, when they brought Kiki was like good, messy. Like, she's played the challenge before, so she has a little bit of experience. I don't think would they call her a vet then, though?
Yeah, they would probably call her a vet. I mean, Michaela's a vet, so Kiki would have to be a vet too. But I would love to see Kiki there.
She would take even Aneesa's spot. It's fine. She could take many people's spots, actually. Okay, so we see Nia talking to CT about her knee. CT kind of suggests to get it taken care of to have peace of mind. I get it. Like, if you have an injury, you don't want it to get worse. But, like, was this the best advice? Like, I don't know. I was like, CT, do you not want her to be in the game? Because when people go to the ambulance or like go to the hospital, chances are when they come back, they have bad news. Do you think that he just didn't want Nia to be there? I was like, shh.
I don't know what he's being like. He's being very dad this season, but then also at the same time, like there's the other angle of like, CT doesn't really shed any tears when people go home. So.
Yeah, CT was even like willing to let Bananas go, which I kind of like to see that from CT, where I think it was with Olivia, where he was like giving credit for like putting Bananas in a position of danger, and he was like, "Wow, good move! Like I respect it." And like normally, if you're like someone like of CT's stature, it's like, well, if Bananas goes, then like I'm naturally the next target. But CT does a better job of kind of like hiding in the background a bit. So
yeah,
I did like how CT acknowledged like, hey, like great move. Like if you want to take a shot at Bananas, like go ahead. I'm not going to do it, but if you do it, I'm all for it.
Gabe was sick of being picked last and is worried about coming last. This is the beginning of Gabe being annoyed with his position in the game and in the house. Do better then, right? Like if you wanted to pick last, you have to show people that you're worthy and capable of doing well. What do you think of the beginning of his temper tantrum here?
Well, at first I was like, this is one of the things that I started talking about at the start of this episode was like, that obviously by the end of this episode, I did not like Gabe, but I was like excited because I was like, oh, he's talking. So we're going to get some stuff out of him, but it wasn't very good stuff. And I agree, like he hasn't really performed. And the way that he
fight on the bus. So like,
we didn't see anything. Like he's just a hothead. So I was like, oh, yeah, it's not good.
Not good. But you were starting to like him more, I'm sure, Matthew, right?
Well, I like what he's bringing. I like how he's like bringing this like different dynamic where he is just kind of like a like massive guy that's like a man baby that's like whining, complaining, and it's like in my head I'm thinking like Naya is one of the people you do not want to piss off because like she has this gear to her where she can read you to filth, and like she did kind of do it in a calm way this episode, but he's lucky this isn't Naya of like 7-8 years ago because she would have absolutely like obliterated him. We saw her do it to Nani, which was one of the like biggest like reads we've ever seen on the show. Like we saw, if you ever watched Real World Portland, the way that she like handled Jordan was insane. So yeah, if we got like Naya of past, like Gabe would have probably quit the show. He would have been so shaken and embarrassed. But yeah, I was thinking like Naya is not someone you want to mess with. There are
he does seemingly overhear a little bit of like him complaining about her, and like that's messy for entertainment wise. But like, okay, if you're going to complain about your vet partner for not performing to your standard, like who the F are you to be like it's dictating who's should be picking you? But like for her to overhear, that's so sloppy, and I don't know if it's going to bode well for him in future seasons. I don't know if do you think he's going to get a callback?
I think he totally screwed himself for this season. I don't know if he can give us enough entertainment thereafter to get another callback. But yeah, he just totally screwed himself over, and everybody saw it. I don't think that he's going to be able to win an elimination, to be completely honest. Like, it was so funny in the Daily when he was like, I could have done this by myself. And I was like, no, you couldn't have. There's no part of this thing, the puzzle, nothing. Even he admitted, he's like, okay, I'm not good at heights or puzzles. So, like, that was primarily the Daily. So then what are you good at?
Yeah, he strikes me as like a guy that will only win a physical elimination as well, like similar to like what I was saying about Rogan. So I could see him winning an elimination if he just gets lucky and gets the right thing. But I don't see him winning 2 eliminations because the odds of getting lucky and like you're not going to get a hall brawl and a pole wrestle. It's just not happening. But if he like lucks into getting something like that, and then I could see that happening. But he's already put himself in a position where he doesn't really have allies. If he wins one, he's going to get thrown in again, and then he'll either go home on that first or second elimination.
So it's Derrick's birthday, and have a little bit of a birthday celebration in their bathing suits. I looked up online, his birthday is February 22nd. So does that, so we can start kind of tracking timelines a little bit. Do we remember when they left? Like, so like, is it like a week per, like, it's not a week per episode. No, it might be a week per episode, or like half a week per episode.
Yeah.
But February 22nd for, did they leave
yeah,
in
they
January?
must have left like end of January, I think. Because they probably would have had like a week before they like really started the challenge, where they're like in their hotels and everything. You know, Gabe and Dee, they were hooking, or Will and Dee were hooking up. So it must have like had that week. So it must have been like end of January, I would say.
Fanta, so you studied stand-up a little bit, and you're interested in being a bit of a stand-up performer. How'd you feel about Carlo Murillo and her roasting of the house guests and Derrick?
I actually thought it was very funny. At first, when she started, I was like, ooh, I don't know. But she did like the perfect line of like not totally pissing everybody off, but like the read that she got on Aneesa, like calling it the retirement home, that I was in stitches. Like, there you go. That is Aneesa on the challenge. That was beautiful.
Yeah, I hope that they drop like a extended version of that, like how they do the deleted scenes. Because I also did think it was very funny. I thought Cara did a good job. I also heard that Sydney was doing like bit of a stand-up thing as well, and they just didn't air it at all. So I would love if they just dropped like a 10-minute version, like Taylor Swift did, and have like a long version of that roast, because what we did see was quite fun.
I thought it was good. And yes, somebody, I think, somebody said this, like how much CT's jawline shows, then they know like they're closer to the final. That was also very funny.
He's probably like, oh my God, they can tell that like that CT to like chisel CT. It's like, that's crazy.
That was very funny. I did really enjoy that because it's like, it's great. Like, it's interesting. Cara is saying things this season that all the fans are saying out loud. So that's something I've been enjoying of, you know, the little that Cara is talking.
So Konoichi says that Derrick's birthday is a conception of Theo and Olivia's baby. But then someone else was saying it was on day 6 that the baby was conceived. So maybe this could make sense. Them leaving on the 10th to 11th, if that's the 22nd, like they were sequestered for a little bit. So that maybe they've actually just been in the house for like about a week kind of thing, or 6 days.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really enjoyed the roast too. I've been taking stand-up classes, and I'm like, you know what? She set up a joke, and it was funny. I'm like, okay, I'll give it to you. I'll give it to you, Cara, because it's not that easy to be able to deliver. So, I was impressed, and she gets a pass a little bit on like me not loving her that much anymore. Naya decides to school Gabe a little bit. She can't remove the ick. Respectfully, fuck you.
That should have been the name of this episode. Respectfully, comma, fuck you. That is my new catchphrase. I'm making shirts.
I would love a respectfully fuck you shirt.
You got it.
Thank you. Cedric is faking not knowing how to swim, but like he says he doesn't know how to float. So can he swim? Like, can you swim if you don't know how to float? Is the question that I'm asking here. Because like that's like the basis of swimming, right? Is knowing how to use your body in the water, and being able to float is the first thing that you learn. No, the first thing you learn is putting your face in the water, I think. And then the second thing you learn is how to float.
Yeah, that was strange to me.
I mean, clearly he can swim though. I
guess you can do this part, but like,
well, in the daily he crushed it.
Yeah.
But I mean, fun approach. I like Cedric. I've found that I like Cedric this episode, and I look forward to seeing more of him. I think he's like really attempting to give something.
Dreadful Ruby says, I'd rather not be able to float and swim like that. Okay, you know what? Yeah, I guess you're right. Maybe just like having a destination and just like being able to like, you know, move towards something is fine for him, but he hasn't mastered floating. It's wild, but he's got something that I don't understand, I guess. America learned how to swim 2 months ago. What on earth is happening? It's crazy to me.
That causes me so much stress because I'm like, you've been watching this show for years.
Well, she probably, when she heard that her name was in the mix, was like, I better learn how to swim. But I still think it's wild not being able to swim. Like, I know that it's a luxury to have like a swimming pool in your backyard, et cetera, et cetera. So I get that, but I just feel like there was always community centers that, you know, you'd have opportunities to swim. Yeah, I don't know. I just didn't know that it was so far out of reach for so many people.
I've been discovering it more because I swim all the time. Like in the summer, I swim almost every day. But I've been like, we went on a boat party last weekend and somebody couldn't swim. And we were like trying to teach them how to swim. But it's like really difficult when you're an adult because like when you've been swimming your whole life to be like, just relax. telling somebody to just relax in the water is like, that's not very helpful. So I understand that it's like, as an adult, to learn how to swim is very difficult.
Yeah, I think for me, it's like the fact that not only like did she know, or did all of them know, like, hey, like we might be going on the challenge, like whether, like, who knows, like how much notice she had, but presumably a few months. But the fact that America was watching all these seasons, and the last season she watched, the entire final was swimming. It's like, all right, well, the entire final was swimming, so I better like just swim nonstop and like get comfortable. But I mean, obviously she learned how to an extent, but she's moving the opposite direction. Like she is moving at a snail's pace, and it's like, all right, well, this probably doesn't bode well for you because, yeah, the last we saw of the challenge, like Jordan just won because he was such a good swimmer, and Kyland, who was dominating the whole season, came in dead last because he couldn't swim. And I mean, Kyland's big brother, like you think they probably would have spoken before.
Like, learn how to swim.
I'm sure Kyland right now is swimming every day. I would guarantee.
Oh my god, for sure. He's not gonna allow that to make him lose again.
Yeah. Yeah, like he's probably not on this season because he's swimming instead.
My two little sisters were professional swimmers for most of their lives, and my dad. So with like swimming and swim clubs and stuff like that, parents have to take turns being adjudicators and like being like, you know, timing or like watching to see if when they jump off the board, if there's any false starts and stuff like that. And like my sisters would always get on me like, Dad doesn't even know how to swim and he's the one that's judging us. Like, and there's like always like a big fight. It's kind of like a joke. It's like, how are you adjudicating when you don't know how to swim? But yeah. You got to do it. Got to jump. Okay, so the daily, we kind of talked about it already. It's called Water Tower. We learned that Naya and Gabe cannot compete until they get the MRI results. And I think the MRI results is who wins this daily, and then we'll decide when we're going to bring out these results and how we're going to use them for our advantage. Because I was like, oh, like I thought that you just find out right now. Anyways, about the results. So
I have my biggest issue with like how this whole thing was handled was like, why couldn't Gabe just climb up the thing and Naya like swim very slowly as well and like do the puzzle? I mean, there's no way Naya would have been slower than America, and it wouldn't have like fucked up her knee in any way if she's barely swimming in the water, and then Gabe could have done the jumping, the climbing. To me, it was just like kind of unfair to Gabe that he couldn't participate. And like, this didn't seem like a challenge that Naya would be physically unable to do.
100%.
Typically, like
it's so low impact. I wouldn't be doing the jumping. Like, I don't know why Derrick's doing that jumping into that container, but like a nice swim, she could do a leisure swim if she'd like, get to the puzzle, solve the puzzle.
Yeah.
But I think that they wanted to control the outcome here a little bit because they probably see the heat that Bananas has on him, and that Olivia is gathering an army, and so they're probably like, scared. So both partners, one swims to the container, one swims to the puzzle board. Climb up the container, kind of like a rock climbing type thing. Jump in, swim under, meet their partner to put in the flag. It was an okay challenge. They DQ if they fall off. I kind of wish that they could just try again. I don't know. How do you feel about the DQ if they fall off? Are they just trying to speed it up? Let's wrap it up.
I think so, because if people fall off and they're just like going, it would just take forever. Like,
you don't want to see like what's his name?
Holly.
I wonder if they knowing that Naya and Gabe were automatically going to be last, which again I think is kind of dumb. I wonder if that changed the rules a little bit, where it's like, all right, well, it doesn't even matter if you DQ falling off because you're not coming in last anyways. So it's like, honestly, like every other team except for the winners could have just not even participated, and it wouldn't have really mattered.
Fair. So they want to still keep the stakes in there because they don't know what's happening with those two. Okay, fair. Sydney is showing up today. Sydney was really, really good at this challenge. She's a force to be reckoned with. Absolutely. She has confessionals. She's good athletically in pretty much everything. Now, we'll talk about it probably a little bit more later, but Matthew, how do you feel though that she's a banana minion, even though she's also very vocal, very fun feeds, we'll say, very good physically, but she's also team bananas?
Well, I'm definitely not surprised that she's like Team America. But I mean, we even got the background of like the American flag. So I'm not super surprised that she is like country strong. But again, like to my point earlier about bananas, like I'm excited to hopefully see a point in the season where all these people working with him can work like on that side without him there. So for now, I'm okay with it because she's still providing like fun confessionals. But I want to see like that alliance she made with Dee, Leka, and Yeremi without bananas just like being at the forefront of everything.
I feel as though, but here's one thing I kind of took from this episode is that I don't really feel that like Dee and Sydney are really like bananas minions.
Yeah, I agree.
I just feel like it's more strategic, like because even after they voted and then like bananas is getting all mad, like why did you vote for me? They just like didn't really seem like Dee didn't really seem to care that much. Like they are just really like, hey, this is just the position that we're taking because strategically, like vets have done this before. It doesn't make sense for us to hitch our horse to a bunch of UK newbies. Like it really just seems to me that like Sydney is pretty cutthroat and like when it serves her, she'll just be like, oh yeah, actually I don't want to work with bananas anymore.
It's for her own game. We do see the what was in the trailer when Derrick is in the container and he's like, help, help. And they're like, I think I hear him calling for help. And then it was nothing. He just swam underneath the container and continued. And I was like, that actually left a bad taste in my mouth because I was like, why is he on this? And like in the thing, and then it was actually a nothing burger.
Yeah.
I heard Derrick say something about that. So like on his podcast, Derrick was saying that he that what they were supposed to do is if they needed help to get out of the container, like we saw Dee and Aviv got helped out. They were just supposed to call for production to help them. So initially he called for help because he wanted to like get assistance out of the container. But then he ended up just doing it on his own. So yeah, they misled us to think that he was injured or something, which like, I don't know, like, I didn't really see the point in them doing that in all the previews, but apparently like Aviv and Dee did the same thing and they just didn't air them screaming for help, which yeah, they definitely made it seem like he re-aggravated his knee injury.
Yeah. That was the intention for sure.
So annoying. I don't know if I put everybody's times or whatever down, but Sydney and Derrick, they were pretty fast in their finishing. America was swimming in the wrong direction. Bananas is like, oh gosh, like she's swimming towards America, I think he said. We do see Izzy trying to climb up the container. She falls, DQs. Cara and Olivia were both the two that are on the puzzles here, but Ben falls and DQs him and Cara Maria. But Justin killed it. Justin was really fast. He was able to do the container very quickly. So Olivia and Justin look like they have the time to beat at this point. Ashley, of course, is on the puzzle. Jake was on the container. Adrienne, like you mentioned, Fanta has not swam since she was a kid. Also shocking, as we already mentioned. CT is on the puzzle with Dee on the container. She DQs. And I laughed quite a bit where it's like, I don't know if Theo's just gotten soft because he's dating me, but like he just doesn't have like that dog in him. And I'm like, oh my God, like she probably just emasculated him on camera. And we know that they're having a child together and they're moving to like the States. This is the beginning of the emasculation of Theo.
She's not wrong.
He did DQ.
Like
right
we
after
haven't
that.
seen that like, and I mean obviously we know people grow up and that sort of thing, but we haven't seen that like super cocky like Theo for years.
Yeah, I do miss the War of the Worlds Theo, I have to say. I like his relationship with Olivia, and I'm more optimistic about him this season, but I do kind of want to see Theo with a little more fight in him back. I think maybe Polly brings out the best side of Theo. Where last season, I mean, Polly was only there one episode, but that was kind of the most entertainment we've got from Theo in the last 5 years. So hopefully Olivia can bring out that side of him and light a fire under him this year.
Hopefully. Jeez Louise. Aviv was scared. Yeremi and Aneesa were doing really, really well. And then Aneesa decided to flop it. Yeremi was not, like, you're supposed to be the puzzle queen? Like, what the heck?
Who said that? Who said Aneesa is the puzzle queen? Did I miss something?
I think maybe when people may decide that she's a puzzle queen because she can't do much of anything else other than elimination, maybe. So they're like, she has to at least be good at puzzles. If she's, why is she called back? They're probably like, she must be good at something.
That's so strange. It's so
kind of
funny
like
to have
Dee
that.
Thought that Leroy was good at puzzles. You're just like,
oh yeah, yeah. I mean, I guess it's that, but it's funny to hear that in an episode and like not Ashley. Like Ashley's a puzzle queen.
Ashley is a puzzle queen, not Aneesa in this one because Cedric comes and like even beats them. So Cedric, our guy that can't float, is working with Michaela here. And he just jumps into the container, swims underneath in the same breath, swims over. So they were actually pretty fast. They do beat Aneesa and Yeremi, who were fast to start with. And so we learned that tonight is a female elimination.
I loved Cedric's confessional where he was like, I know you all at home are thinking Yeremi is just going to smoke us. I know what you're thinking. Like, we're going to lose. And then they obviously came back and won, which, I mean, his confessional kind of made it obvious that they would come back and win. But yeah, I do think Cedric is going to be a force to be reckoned with. And Michaela is obviously a beast too. One thing I was kind of confused about this daily, though, is I did like the daily for the most part, but I was sort of confused that it seemed like the person that was doing the climbing and the jumping, half the time they were also completing the puzzle. Which like really makes, shouldn't it have been like the other person does the puzzle on their own? But it definitely seemed like that was not. Yeah, like put the flag in and the other person does the puzzle.
That wasn't clear, and it was kind of evident, like, because I can't remember who said when Bananas was helping America, I remember somebody in like the crowd being like, oh, like he can help.
Yeah.
And then I think it was Olivia being like, oh yeah. Like when they're done, they can help.
Yeah, that part was kind of weird. Like
which I think it was, yeah, I think it was a bit unclear even for them.
I didn't love that part, but overall, I did think this daily was pretty cool.
Yeah.
And it was easy enough to follow. There was like different dynamics to it. I definitely just wish the person not climbing was doing the puzzle on their own. And I think that would have been a little bit more simple.
Yeremi, when he was climbing, they had that action hero music. Like they're just like using his physique just for some thirst traps here. He did look good though. I agree. He did look good. So it's going to be a female elimination. Naya and Gabe are automatically going to be last. And so that's what I was first thinking. Like, did they make it a girls' day because Olivia won? But I was kind of thinking that. Were you guys thinking that as well?
I think so, because I thought it was odd that they, I mean, whatever, maybe production. I thought it was odd they didn't do the coin flip. And they were just like, ta-da, it's women's today.
Yeah, we thought it was gonna be a coin flip. Obviously, we talked about it last week, and so I was like, interesting. Yeah. They only gave us the top, like the number one position, and that was Olivia and Justin. Did you see anywhere online maybe the whole list of 1 to 8?
They showed like a little, like they showed a glimpse of the like leaderboard, so I'm sure people would be able to figure
I
it
can
out.
actually figure it out. I have both leaderboards, actually.
Yeah, but like they didn't make it clear, which again is like kind of annoying that they didn't, because it would have taken 5 seconds to just show the leaderboard. But I'm sure like on Reddit, it's probably available at this point.
No, I took a photo before and after actually, and so like I could do the math and figure it out, but I didn't. Sorry, guys. Okay, so clearly Bananas is worried about America being sent in because this would potentially make Bananas a hangnail here. Do you think production wasn't really thinking that part through? Or do they want to see him? Oh no, but they already have it in their back pocket because they're going to be taking an eye out of the game. It's going to save him from being the hangnail. So like this is to give the storyline is still going to move forward, and Olivia is going to attack, but she's not going to win. She's going to get duped by production.
Duped by production. That's another T-shirt we need for all of us.
I'd take it. I'd wear it to buy it. So Olivia is talking with Cara. I didn't realize that they were that close of friends, but then Cara seems to not be understanding what Olivia was saying. It was kind of funny because I didn't really understand what Olivia was talking about. How are you feeling about it, Fanta?
That was like just such a good example of like editing doing Olivia dirty. Because it was just like she was like really trying to, it's like those like Instagram influencers who are like really trying to like make like a groundbreaking point and they're not saying anything at all. But it was so funny to have like Cara just be like, what? And then anyway, so what do you think about these points or whatever it was that she changed the subject with?
Cara Maria wants America to go in, of course, because she is also, she knew it. Olivia's doing what Cara couldn't with going against Bananas. And so I wonder if Cara has a little bit of like oh man, you're better at this than I am, with taking on the Banana Man.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen her do it so many seasons and kind of fail. And I just think that Cara doesn't really have like the charisma to do it. Unfortunately,
yeah, she can't gather the numbers and have them be working with her as well. You know, as Olivia's done. She's definitely you know what? She's better at making girlfriends. Olivia.
Yes.
Yeah. Olivia has the social game on point, and I mean, to me, like she's very improved strategically as well. I mean, we're seeing like, and physically she's great. I do think Olivia is becoming like the whole package, and I'm pretty impressed with her, but she's always had the social side of things down pat. And yeah, to your point, like she's way better at making girlfriends. Every season she's had a showmance, and like she's had attention from men as well. So I think Olivia is like a really strong challenger all around at this point.
Mm-hmm.
I agree. I definitely agree.
100%.
We go to the club, and this actually had to be, in my opinion, the funniest scene I've seen of Turbo in a long time. And he's been doing some funny little scenes, but he's talking to Theo about, you know, she's nonstop winning, you're nonstop losing. Women never like the loser man, and you are a loser man. She's like, Olivia is the alpha, you are not the alpha. And Theo's like, well, you know, if I'm, you know, we're somewhere gonna get robbed, like they're gonna like I'm the alpha, and they're like, oh, she's gonna protect you. And I was just like, Theo was just so like emasculated again, and I thought it was just so hilarious because it was so true.
Yeah,
it's so true. It's so true. Like Olivia's doing it all because, you know, with some couples you have like one of them's political, the other one's doing like the winning, but Olivia's doing everything. And Turbo's being hilarious. Like he's, you know, no one's threatened by him. I hope that this puts some fire under Theo's ass, though.
Yeah, I just like, I'm loving Turbo, what we're getting from Turbo this season, where it seems like every episode there's one scene, and even if it's just like a small scene, where he's just being super funny. Like the banana scene last week, we saw the scene of him working out with the you cannot copy my walk shirt on. It's just these like little moments from Turbo that are showing this like fun side of him. And I'm just loving all these dynamics with him where he like obviously is poking fun and clocking Theo here. Where it's like, you're not a man essentially. And I'm just like, yeah, I'm loving what we're getting.
Woman not gonna like you for long.
Yeah. And if it was anyone else that said that to Theo, he'd be so pissed. But it's like light and fun because it's Turbo, which I never thought.
He's right to a certain extent.
Yeah.
You know what I
I
mean?
never thought I would. Like, I'm shocked with Turbo this season. Had I known, I would have picked him. But who has him?
Probably Matthew. No, I think Michelle actually.
Michelle? I was like, you fool. He's gonna blow everything up, and he's like so delightful.
But we will see him blow up. I mean, we saw in the preview he gets into something with CT, which is honestly pretty surprising. I'm excited to see what leads to Turbo going off on CT because this season it doesn't seem like he's aggravated or people are trying to poke him at all. So I wonder if at some point people will start to poke Turbo and that causes him to kind of lose his shit.
Or like maybe it's like the partner that Turbo ends up being with is going against maybe CT or something like that, and so it causes a rift. And Turbo is not super political, and so like he just wants to win, and he doesn't necessarily take sides and stuff like that. And so maybe something gets stirred in that world, or maybe it's not even a real fight. Maybe it's a fake fight.
It seems pretty real to me. I don't think Turbo can fake a fight.
Yeah, too much dishonor.
Too much dishonor. Okay, Club Zone. More so, we see Naya talking to Olivia and Justin. Justin's best friends in the house are Leka, Dee, and Sydney. I'd like to see more of that because I was like, oh, those are your buds. Like that's fun. He's kind of also playing the political middle for the most part. Izzy, Adrienne, Tay are Justin's least connected people so far. And Olivia just like shot that down pretty immediately, being like, maybe you should make up with the people that you're not working with, who's thrown you in, who doesn't care to see you in this game. You should make up with them because I'm working with them and it's better for my game. But I'll pretend like you're making a decision here. And as we know, Olivia wants America. How do you feel about this dynamic of this little combo here?
This episode's really funny because Justin is flying way too close to the sun. And we all know what happens when especially new challengers fly too close to the sun. At some point, he's going to get burned. So, his ego is it's entertaining to watch, but it's going to be very interesting to see how that plays out for him. It is very funny how you really see these vets are like, okay, hold on, you guys got to start thinking strategically because Michaela does that as well within this club scene. You can really see Olivia's like taking Justin under her wing and being like, this is how you play this game actually, and Michaela doing the same for the knuckleheads.
It's Leroy's daughter's birthday. So they do a little cheers for her. Also, he thinks that Ben looks like Macaulay Culkin. I didn't really see it. Do you guys see it? I didn't see it.
I didn't see it, but it was funny. Like, I feel like Leroy's being funnier this season. It's kind of like we're getting like old like jokester. Like we're getting old jokester Leroy, which is like I'm always happy to see that. I don't see it, but I thought that was hilarious.
Yeremi and Dee are talking. She would prefer America to stay. Obviously, they're both CBS shows. It would be somebody that would more likely be willing to work with her. They definitely actually have met before because they've been in the same city for some RHAP stuff, if I'm not mistaken. So of course, Dee's gonna want America to stay in this position. We get Leroy giving some advice to Gabe, saying that you need to help Naya win because you were going to be the hangnail. You don't want to be the hangnail. And Gabe didn't even think about that at all. So, he's just a bit of a ding-dong here.
And I think Leroy did kind of say as well, hey, if you're the hangnail, like we're gonna send you into elimination. Like he was honest. I don't know if he might have been joking and being like a bit like trying to be funny about it, but he did say like if you're the hangnail, like we're not gonna protect you because like you're the new guy and like kind of like earn your stripes. It's a common theme with rookies, but yeah, I did like. I think I do like Leroy being that kind of uncle vibe as well. I don't think like Leroy is really a threat to win at this point, but I don't necessarily mind him like having these kind of quips and these kind of one-liners throughout the episode.
If that's what you're looking for from him, like if you want him to be like some master strategist and puzzle master and super physical in the eliminations, that ain't him. But to be a fun uncle, like telling the stories about, you know, in my day, like that's Leroy.
Yeah.
Justin and Olivia basically tells Izzy that they will likely save her. So, like, went from Justin being like, I don't necessarily want to work with Izzy to we're saving you in this, in the, what's this called? Just nominations? Yeah.
The selection, I think it is.
No, the selection is when they choose their partners. No, I think it's just.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Yeah. Michaela talking to the threat men, as you've mentioned, Matthew here. You know, Jake trusts Gabe and Leo the most, which is interesting information. When I hear people trust people the most, I want to see why, and so I wish they would show a little bit more as to why people are friendly, what kind of relation, how they built these relationships. Because I had no idea that Jake and Gabe or Gabe and Leo were Jake's best friends in the house. I'd like
they
to
went to Ibiza together.
Ibiza, actually.
No, I'm joking.
I don't know. I mean, maybe
trust with those guys is so flimsy. You know, like that's kind of a thing. Like it's why, like you guys met 3 weeks ago, or
Leo actually like acknowledged that too, which I liked. Like he said, like, hey, these are my best friends here, but I'm playing for me. Like at the end of the day, like I have to beat these guys in order to win. So I liked how he was looking at that, and people are comparing them to like the Young Bucks. I wouldn't go that far yet. I think Leo definitely has a lot of potential entertainment wise, but to give the Young Bucks credit, like they were pretty entertaining right from the get-go. And they didn't really have many like dud seasons. So to me, like Leo has a lot of potential to be entertaining. Gabe like is definitely messy, but doesn't.
Bit of a dum-dum.
Yeah, well, I mean the Young Bucks are kind of dum-dums too, but
That's true.
maybe there is some potential there. Jake, we've gotten like nothing from, I feel.
Yeah,
not so much. Sydney wants to get rid of Olivia and the Brit. She wants to break up that clique. With cliques, you got to break them up. So this could also become interesting, being a little bit of like someone to combat against Olivia as well, not just immediately falling under her spell, under her wing. So this opposition is good.
Yeah.
She's very American. It's very funny.
It's so funny, like seeing all the like American paraphernalia. Like as Canadians, we're like, oh, no, the timing of it all. But I do like how Sydney's like playing this, where she's just like, to everyone's faces, like doo-doo-doo. But then in the confessional, she's just eviscerating everybody and like being like, I'm gonna cut people to size. So I'm excited. I'm very excited to see how the Sydney of it all plays out.
Yeah, Team Youngbuck did have poor execution. It's true. It is true. They were just always kind of like the, fumbling the ball. Who fumbled the ball in the Snoopy? Whatever. Like, just like, they just, oh, blah, 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 blah. Like, they had good intentions and they always just fumbled. Gabe does decide to, Sydney wants to be with the vet girls. They talk about the plan, about Bananas being the hangnail. They seem to have decided. Aviv did say something about this is after the club, about how if he's the hangnail, we can save him though. And so I think that this is why we see in the selection a little bit later that they're not so pressed on not putting him in because they know that they can save him in the next round. So it was interesting seeing that Sydney wants to be with the vet girls. I think even though it's cool for Olivia to be the opposition, I think it's cooler to Sydney to be with the vets. So I think that's also why she kind of wants to hang out with them.
Could they? Do you think they could save him though? Because they lost the first. We only had one vote so far, and they lost the first votes. Like the UK side won the vote. So, I mean, if Bananas is the hangnail, he's not voting, and then let's say like anyone on the US side wins the daily, they're not voting either. So then Bananas would have been screwed, right?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know why Aviv was saying that. Like, I didn't run all the numbers, but maybe she knows something that we don't. Like, I'm not sure why she's so confident that he could be saved easily.
I personally feel like they would have lost that vote.
We'll
never know. We'll never know now. Or we
never know. Maybe production's like, no, I'll fix that.
Yeah.
Gabe does apologize to Naya, wants to know how to best support her. And we see in the confessional Naya's thinking this is her season. I'm like, usually said by someone who loses.
Yeah.
Just like, she's done. She's done.
Yeah.
We learned that Justin has the highest points out of the men. He has 16. Bananas has 15. Olivia has 20. So Olivia is the top doggette out of the bunch. We're at the eliminations. We're still waiting on that MRI. Olivia and Justin save Izzy. We weren't, I wasn't surprised by this at all, obviously. Making this relationship better is how they phrase this and package it up. Michaela thinks that Olivia should cover up that she's against the vet women. So this is probably where Matthew decided that Michaela was going to be his backdrop, was when she stood up here and called out Olivia. What were your thoughts, Matthew?
I'm loving both Michaela and Olivia this season. But I just love when someone will stand up and call you out to your face. Like, to me, that is very entertaining. It's like you're drawing a line in the sand. And I do think Olivia did make a poor decision saving Izzy here, because who she saved didn't really matter. At the end of the day, America was going to go in no matter what. So I think Michaela just clocking that, and instead of just like keeping it in her back pocket, I don't think Michaela's that type of player. Like, she's going to say how she feels, which I really appreciate. So while I'm also really liking Olivia, I love when someone stands up and like tells you to your face what's going on.
Yeah, that was a great moment. I was surprised Michaela did stand up. I thought she was going to be pretty quiet all season, to be honest. But it begs the question of, like, did Olivia not really think that through? You know, I think she was so strong about showing her loyalty and scratching Izzy's back that she didn't think about the optics, maybe, or maybe she didn't care. But it's interesting, like, the way that Michaela and Bananas have been against Olivia this episode and being vocal about it, and she just like doesn't really say anything back. So I don't know if that's like stressing her out, or she's like, I'm just going to be a politician about this. I wish we got a talking head from Olivia about that.
Yes, me too. I would like to hear a little bit more about her reaction. Like, she did have a little one, but I would like to see a little bit more as to like how she feels about that situation. I like what Michaela calling her out on, like, hey, you kind of blew up her spot. Jessica does say that it was pretty obvious what side Olivia was on, so it didn't matter really either way.
Well, there are some very stupid people, in this game. Like, there's stupid people in this game, so sometimes you have to write it up on the chalkboard for them to like really understand. Like, look at Leo and his little speech. Like, I don't think that Leo would have been like, oh, okay. Like, I think there's definitely some people in that bunch that like don't think twice about the strategy.
Yeah, definitely. Leo didn't at all.
I think it matters a little. I don't think it's like a massive deal because yes, like we know Olivia's with Theo and working with the Brits. I think it does matter a little bit because there is an unwritten rule in the challenge history, not just this season, where like vets kind of stick together. And if you're like actively going against the vets in a season like this, it does look like a little bit off. So I just think it would have been so easy for Olivia to just say like, hey, I'm going to save Nani. It like wouldn't have changed a thing, but it would have created a little bit of an illusion that she is still looking out for the other female vets.
100%.
So yes, like it's probably not going to change Olivia's game too much, but it might just increase the odds of down the road the other vet women are like, well, she's not with us, so let's throw her into an elimination.
100%. Just a little smoke screen would have been good.
Yeah, just like fake it a little bit. Be like, what do you mean? Like, of course, like I'm working with the vets, the vet women. Like, I don't know, like lie a little bit. And like you guys also said during this vote, Leo does stand up and says like, we're only throwing in rookies here. We need to start going out to the vets. It's like, true, but like this is not the time to maybe bring that up. But like, it's true.
I love Ben's talking head where he's like, I agree, but like, shut up.
So for the most part, America got all the votes here. We do see Bananas saying, I am the challenge. I found it kind of annoying and a bit obnoxious when Adrienne is just like rolling her eyes so hardcore for Bananas. Like, I get it that he's annoying, but she hasn't even watched it. She doesn't even know that he's actually annoying. Like, it's just kind of jumping a bit of like on the bandwagon of like eye rolling and like, the worst, you suck. And like, you don't even actually know that he sucks. So it kind of irritated me. I rolled my eyes at Adrienne.
I agree. I was like, you've been here for 14 seconds, like give credit where it's due. And again, not a Bananas fan at all, but he does give the salt and pepper shaker moments. So
yeah, did you like Adrienne being vocally here and like rolling your eyes, Matthew, or did you find it just kind of a little bit annoying like I did?
No, I'm actually I respectfully disagree with the two of you. I loved what Adrienne was doing there, and like I said, I think Bananas is definitely providing. So I give him a lot of credit this season, but I personally love when there are people that just don't like care about his shtick, and like these rookies come in and like they just do not give a fuck about Bananas. Like Izzy too, and it's like I loved when Bananas like, well, I'm talking now, and then when they were talking, Bananas was interrupting, and then Izzy I think said, well, I'm talking now, Bananas.
Yeah.
I didn't say I liked what Izzy was doing. I didn't mind what Izzy was doing. But it was just Adrienne and being like, she's not great physically. She's not like, she's just positioned well with Olivia. And like, she nearly went home. Like she could have easily gone home last week for being last and cutting her foot. So I just was just kind of like eye rolling Adrienne. I didn't mind Izzy though.
The reason I liked what Adrienne was doing is because as a viewer, there's so many times that I roll my eyes at things Banana says, and I can only imagine living with him for like 2 weeks straight at this point. Like you're here, all you're doing is hearing his voice, and then like I can only imagine. Like we're seeing obviously an edited episode, but she's hearing this man 24/7.
You have a point.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's so funny that America said that during the elimination where she was just like, I've watched this show for years, but like he really is this annoying. That was such a great moment.
For that too, it's like America calling that out, like, no, like he really is annoying. It makes you kind of understand why Adrienne's rolling her eyes, why Izzy is telling him to shut up. So I like it personally.
I might be swayed a little bit, but when I was watching, I was just like, yeah, you just got here, like, you know.
Well, because like look at it this way. Like I get it. Like Banana says, I am the challenge, and like to an extent, yes, like he is part of the challenge. He's a big part of it, but you never hear CT saying, I'm the challenge. And CT has
he kind of says this, I think, when he has his fight with I'll come back here whenever I want. Like, that's him basically saying, like, I'm the challenge in a different way, I would say.
Yeah, but like, is Bananas more of the challenge than CT? Because I personally don't think so. I think, if anything, they're equal, but Rolling Stones, I think, did top 100 reality TV stars of all time a couple of years ago, and CT won. He was the number one reality
Seriously?
TV star. Yeah, something did it. The
Wow.
Ringer or something did it, and they said
Wow.
CT was the greatest reality star of all time. Which, like, I don't agree with necessarily.
He kind of had the best arc, right? We talked about his arc, you know, how he was on Real World Paris, and then like having that whole relationship with Diem, and then having like the phases of him on the challenge show, and like coming back, dad. But like he's definitely, we've seen him live a life on the show, and I think that does, in my opinion, create like potentially an ultimate reality star, because you've seen so many sides of them, and that's real, you know?
Yeah, I'd say CT, if you're looking at just arc of a person on reality TV, CT is up there as best ever. In terms of most entertaining reality stars, I wouldn't necessarily say CT's number one.
Who would you say is number one, out of curiosity?
If you can think of something.
I mean, like, people that come to mind are Tiffany New York Pollard, Omarosa. Who else?
I knew you were gonna say Omarosa. I just had a feeling.
Those are people that definitely come to mind, like longevity and also just entertainment. I think like it's hard to not look at someone like I mean, Richard Hatch is like an OG of reality TV.
I was gonna say that.
Eric Nies is an OG, but I wouldn't necessarily say him.
You know, maybe if we get an off season, we'll do like we'll all like pitch our top 10, and we'll do like a podcast on like who we think should be, like, we make our top 10 lists of like the ultimate reality stars or something like that.
Yeah, I'd say like, but the thing about Bananas is his arc is basically non-existent, because he's the same person now as he was 20 years ago. Like, you can watch any season of Bananas, it's the exact same. 100%. So to me, like, CT like represents more of what reality TV is about. Yeah, Spencer Pratt, I mean,
you would love him, I would assume. Yeah, so let's just finish this episode. We know that it's going to be America versus Nia going into the elimination. Before that, though, Olivia does come in to speak to Johnny, but like I didn't really know why she needed to do this. Maybe just to have another scene on camera. But she basically came in to be like, "I'm not coming for you. Like, why are you saying that? And like, why are you treating me like I'm coming for you when she's clearly coming for him?" So you guys are both smiling at this particular scene. I think it was just for camera time, because
I thought the scene was just like, it was just the world's smallest violin for Bananas. It was funny for Dee, because I was like, okay, now I do kind of see, like, in her talking head, she says like, oh yeah, like, you know, I like Bananas, we're connecting, but I need to play my own game. So I'm like wondering what the extent of like their love connection is at this point. Like, I wonder if she's kind of like pulling away, or like what's going on with that. But I do like that, again, that her and Sid are like, no, we need to like really focus. Like, the Bananas of it all doesn't matter. But it's just so funny to me, like, 40-year-old banana just sitting on the floor, like red-faced, complaining again that he's being.
I was going to ask, do I get some fight points here? Because we did see some vein popping. Is that the indicator of a fight on Banana's side?
No, I don't think that. I don't think this classifies as a fight.
Red-faced vein popping.
Yeah, but I feel like Bananas, anytime he doesn't get his way, will be like that. So
yeah,
I don't know. Like, to me, like, it was as much of a fight as like him and Adrienne and Izzy, which, like, to me, like, I don't think was a fight either.
Yeah.
All right, we get to the arena. We see lots of wood into kind of piles into triangles. Bananas makes some sort of speech. People are just like telling him to shut up, and anyways, the usual. But of course, the MRI results are in, and they're going directly to a commercial break. And I'm like, oops, seems bad. And when we come back to the commercial break, I'm like, yep, okay, medically unable to compete. America is safe. She wins.
Yeah, I didn't love this. Part of me was hoping, and I knew this wasn't going to happen because I looked at the time, but part of me was hoping they were just going to say, like, all right, it's a male elimination. Like, we're doing the elimination. It looked really cool. Like, whatever contraption it was, like, I hope they use it next episode. They may, but who knows? But didn't love how this was handled, and then how America... I also didn't realize the winner of the elimination gains 2 points. Was that news to you guys, or did we know that already?
Say that again?
They said, America, you win the elimination and you gain 2 points.
Oh, 2 points. Yeah, so you get 2 points for winning the elimination.
Yeah, so I didn't realize that until this episode.
Yeah, I didn't realize that.
I noticed it when Justin.
Okay.
They did say that when Justin won, that he gets 2 points, and so that's when I noticed it, and so I just knew it was a rule. I don't know if they said it last week or not, but I believe that I learned that with Justin, unless I'm like lying and I got it from Ben's podcast, but I don't think so.
Yeah, so it's all just like very weird. Like, America got 2 points. Like, I get her being safe, but I mean, I would have loved for Gabe and Bananas to just do whatever this elimination was. It seems like it was going to be some sort of like moving and stacking wood or something.
Yeah.
Which would have been interesting. I mean, Bananas strategically probably would have been able to figure something out, but Gabe definitely has more muscle and weight on him, so
yeah,
it could have been fun. Naya probably would have smoked America in this. I would imagine.
Even with her busted from knee, I think it would have been okay, but they didn't let her compete here. So America is safe. Naya is going home. Gabe is still the hangnail here. We get the selection at the end of the episode because they had some time. And so Justin chooses Aviv, Olivia, Yeremi. So she's using another like mega match here. Cedric chooses Cara, Michaela, Ben, Derrick, Izzy, Sydney, Turbo, Aneesa, Will, Nani, Jake, Bananas, Leka, America, Theo, Derrick, T, and Tay, Leroy. Ashley, Leo, and she's happy about this. And then CT chooses Adrienne. CT and Adrienne, I saw your tweet.
Yeah.
What did it say?
I said it's a good pair because it's a former fatty and a current fatty.
Sorry.
No offense. I mean, well, no offense to CT, I guess. But I'm wondering now next week if we're going to get rookie versus rookie elimination, just based off how things are going now, unless what Leo said like lights a spark and people are more willing to throw in a vet. Although I guess it doesn't really matter because a vet could lose the daily and automatically go in. So there is that, which I do like last place going in automatically, but I have a feeling it's going to be Gabe against whoever loses because Gabe just doesn't have enough friends here, in my opinion. No. So unless a vet male loses the daily, I think we're going to get a rookie on rookie crime here.
It was funny how everyone was like, "You beat Naya, congratulations!" She's like, and then America did really want to go down, at least to show people how she could compete or couldn't compete.
Yeah.
She doesn't really even know for herself how she's going to show up in an elimination, so she's kind of bummed about that. But you know what? She should be happy that she gets to stay another week, and she'll likely get another opportunity to go down into elimination. So, holding it off is probably good too.
I have a feeling about America. The reason, like, we know that she's not been super public talking about the show. I get a vibe from her that it's not that she wanted to go in and prove herself. I think she just doesn't care to be there. It seems like she is not like fitting in well. It seems like she doesn't have many friends in the game. And I feel like it's like, hey, like, I don't mind going in because I will either win or I go home. And like, if going home is the worst case scenario, I'm fine with that. I'm kind of getting vibes like that from her.
I can see that. With Blue going home, Blue was like the only kind of sounding board that she had. That she could be quite friendly with, obviously.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like she is like fitting in well. Like Dee is fitting in, Cedric is fitting in, and if those are the only people that America really knows, it just doesn't. I don't know. Like I get the vibe that America just doesn't care to be there, and everything we're seeing from her post show seems to like echo that sentiment, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Hopefully we'll find out soon if why she hasn't been posting about the show at all. So lastly, Leo wants to destroy the vets and earn respect. And then I posed the question to us for our draft: should the hangnails lose points?
No,
I don't think so.
Okay.
Because part of it is out of their control.
But like they also lost the daily.
But not necessarily, right? Because it could be the person voted in loses the elimination, and then their partner is.
You're right.
So
that's true. Okay, fine. Sold. Anything else you want to say about this episode, guys?
I think MVP is tough this episode.
Yeah.
Because we didn't really get a proper ending.
Is who?
MVP? Like choosing an MVP.
I think choosing MVP is tough because
tough.
Like Olivia is obviously doing really well, but got called out by Michaela. My gut says probably still Olivia for the women, but is there anyone else that really stands out?
I think Michaela. I could make a case for Michaela with how she's kind of gathering the male threats, and kind of it seems like they trust her right now, and like they want to work with her. They think that she's strong, and so I think that she's kind of subtly planting some seeds in there for her to be their top choice. She's calling out Olivia, pointing that out. I don't think that she's gonna get any like backlash for that. So I could make a case for Michaela.
Yeah, I think it would probably have to be either Michaela or Olivia this week for the women.
I agree with Michaela. I just don't feel super strong about it. But I don't feel stronger about anybody else this episode to make that decision. So that's kind of my lukewarm vote.
Yeah, I think Michaela makes sense. For the men, I mean, again, like Justin stands out, but he also did get called out for like getting a little bit cocky. I think Leo has like the right idea about things, but his execution is not really the best.
Yeah.
Is there any vet man that stands out, or is Justin kind of just the obvious answer?
I mean, maybe Leroy for being Uncle Leroy. For entertainment alone, I would say Turbo.
Yeah.
Turbo.
I was about to say that because that was like funny. I would rather choose Turbo over Justin because like Justin was heavily guided by Olivia.
Yeah.
This episode as well.
He didn't actually get what he originally wanted. He wanted potentially Izzy to be somebody. Not the members that they saved, and she was able to convince him that he should make nice with her. So I can agree with Turbo.
Yeah. I guess like in an episode like this, it's kind of weird. Like Turbo even having one like really fun scene is probably enough.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think the women are carrying a little bit more, and then Turbo is standing out as one of the men that are definitely carrying the season. So yeah, I think I'm good with Turbo.
All right, it is Turbo, male MVP easing along Uncle T. CT.
Nah, I can't get behind that yet.
Okay. LVP, yes, is Derrick. Oh, he's cringe. Well, thanks, guys, for showing up in the morning and talking about this episode. You guys have anything going on you want to share with the peoples?
I'm recording another episode for the podcast Escaping Denver.
Ooh, okay. And this is like a murder mystery series type thing?
It's sci-fi. It was at one point one of the top Apple podcasts for sci-fi, and a book got released as well about it.
Cool. Well, if you send me the link, I'll put it in the description box below so people can find it. Matthew, what do you have going on your pop culture piggies?
Just doing some challenge power rankings. So I've been dropping those typically on like Friday, Saturday. So after each episode, I'll just rank who I'm vibing with the most, from 32 to 1 or 29 people now. So I'll each week will be a little bit shorter, but maybe a little bit more in depth because we have more info to go off of. We'll be talking some football over there in a couple weeks, and yeah, just whatever I'm watching, I'll kind of just be chatting about over there. So that's been fun. And one other thing I just wanted to mention real quick is Justin was on the Official Challenge podcast this week, and I listened to this morning, and he had one really funny line where he said that he does not like Aneesa, and his exact line was, "The retirement home has been calling her for a while, and she needs to go." So I think Justin is saying what a lot of the fans are thinking, and most cast members are not bold enough to say that. So maybe my reasoning for Justin being MVP was more of what happened after the episode.
Okay.
I was a little biased there, but from the episode, I agree with Turbo. But that line from Justin was quite the zinger. So
that's so funny. I so agree with that. I just cannot hear another season of Aneesa just being like, well, Olivia is one of my closest friends. Well, Tori is one of my closest friends. Well, it's like, nobody cares. This is not like what this is for. Like, go on a different show if that is the case, but no one is really like connecting with that.
I think the biggest problem with Aneesa is that, like, just that, like, she every season she says, like, I'm gonna play for me this season, and then she never plays for her, and she always tries to go to the end with people better than her. So it's like, I would respect it if Aneesa showed up one season and was like, hey, like, I'm gonna pull the Wes or the Olivia now, and I'm just gonna take out all these vets, and I'm gonna try my luck at going to the end with these rookies. Because maybe that could be a scenario where Aneesa wins, but I just don't think we're ever going to get that from her at this point.
No.
Just paychecks now that she's showing up for, it seems. Paychecks and friendships. Well, thanks everybody in the chat for joining us here today. We will be back next week at some point. Subscribe to the channel, like this video, and let us know your thoughts about our MVP, or people that have been standing up and speaking out. So Leo and Michaela, how do we feel about this? Continue the conversation in the comments below. Ciao, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.